Good deal.
You are live?
We're live on Facebook. I'm going to get this going. Josh is going to be getting us live on Instagram here.
Alright, we're live on Instagram now too.
Alright, good deal. We are live on both. Let me see if I can find us here.
Yep, that's it.
Is this me?
Yep, so just watch for any kind of questions coming there.
Alright.
Turn that volume down.
Yeah.
Or mute it, yeah.
There we go. Alright. Alright guys, so same drill as last week. I am Caleb Walker with Walker Pest Management. We're live to answer any questions that you might have about pest control or any questions that you might have about me or anything related to our company. For the most part, anything is fair game. We have a list of questions here that we've compiled over the years just to use almost as filler while some of you guys tune in and send us your questions and whatnot. And these are just popular questions that customers ask us all the time, or people that are shopping around for pest control service. So we were able to answer a couple of questions last week. I'm going to jump into it again and see if I can answer a couple more maybe this week. We'll go for about 15 minutes and probably shut it down about 2:15, just depending on how things are going. So with no further ado, the next question that I have on my list here is, why should I choose Walker Pest Management over the competitor? Josh compiled these questions, so I actually have not had time to review these or make stuff up. So, the short answer is, look at me. Why wouldn't you choose us? I work out. I take baths on a regular basis. I'm just kidding. Why should you choose Walker Pest Management over a competitor? Well, really and truly, the answer to that is there are a lot of good pest control companies out there. We're not the only show in town. I have friends of mine asking, if we'll take over their service all the time because, hey, we use, so-and-so pest control and, fill in the blank, termite service and so on and so forth. Can you just take it over? And I always tell my friends, my family, my neighbors, whoever it is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you're happy with your service and they are providing a quality service, you're not having pest issues in the house, whatever that service is that you're paying for, don't change companies just to change, just to, even my friends, well, hey, I want to give you my business, and I appreciate that a lot, but I always tell people, if you're happy with your service, don't change companies. So there are some really good companies out there that are going to do a good job, have a similar business philosophy as far as taking care of the customer comes first, those kinds of things. Every company is always going to have some customers, for whatever reason, that are dissatisfied with the service. We have them, unfortunately. We do everything we possibly can to mitigate those issues and prevent a dissatisfactory experience with our company. But that stuff's going to happen. It just is. If you go online and read reviews, I think that is a very good tool in choosing a company. Obviously, to answer this question directly, we have very high customer reviews. We have, over 400 Google reviews right now, Josh, on our main Greenville Google page listing. Thank you. It's 4.9. So there's a handful of negative reviews in there. I can probably count on one hand the number of negative reviews out of 400 and some odd reviews. And out of those, we try to respond to those. We try to give kind of a balanced picture of what happened. And again, don't get me wrong, Walker Pest Management occasionally has dropped the ball. That will happen. But when that does happen, we try to own that. We try to make it right, whether that's free service, credits back to the customer, redoing the job over again, whatever we have to do to make that right, we're going to do that. We've even brought in outside contractors, like if it was a repair issue, things like that, we pay for that at our expense, and et cetera, et cetera. So anytime that happens, we're going to do whatever we can to make that right. And I think that's what you're looking for in a company, which is why those review sites are important. I think that's a great tool to have. So whether it's Google, that's going to be the most popular one. You've got the Better Business Bureau. Better Business Bureau always tries to be fair and impartial. Of course, again, we have an A+ rating with them. So if there are customer complaints, the consumer can actually file a complaint through the Better Business Bureau, and since we are an accredited member, we must try to seek some sort of mediation resolution through the Better Business Bureau in order to maintain our status. So that's a great tool that consumers should know about. You want to look and see. I encourage people to look for companies that are a member of the Better Business Bureau, just because they are sort of this third-party, unbiased advocate for the consumer.
We actually do have a question, just real quick.
Yeah.
So John Sutter asked, where can he get a WPM koozie?
Oh, John Sutter did. Well, John, we do not have any koozies. However, I will personally deliver you a Walker Pest Management coffee mug. That's about the closest thing I have to a koozie, unfortunately. So let me know if that works for you. And I'll even bring you a set of them, John. So John is a customer of ours, John and Ashley. Actually, I think Ashley's more of a customer, and John just had to go along with it because Ashley made him. So, but we do appreciate John and Ashley for sure. But yes, I will send you some coffee mugs for sure, John. Anyway, so like we were saying, lots of review sites. The Better Business Bureau, I think, is a good one for people to go to. You've got Yelp. The one thing with Yelp that we have noticed, they're getting better about it, but they have their, what do they call it, approved reviews versus non-approved, authenticated. I don't know how they term that and describe that. But there doesn't seem to be any real rhyme or reason to the ones they choose to show versus the ones they choose to hide. So if you go to Yelp and this is for any company out there, be fair to those companies and try to look at all the reviews on Yelp, not just the ones they put up there and show you, but you'll actually see, I can't remember how they term it, but it's like non-verified reviews, and they hide all those. So I have customers of ours who I know legitimately made quality reviews on Yelp, but those are hidden, 5-star reviews and those kinds of things. So Yelp is another one. Angie's List is another one. I know there's others, and I just, I'm at a loss to think of all the ones. But go to those review sites and read the reviews and see what that company is all about. If you get a chance to talk to employees, talk to the employees, see how they like the company. Glassdoor is another review site specifically for employees of a company. Just to kind of get an inside look what that company is about, what the culture is like. Do people enjoy working there? Is it a good company? Is it good people to work for? Things like that. So, there's lots of reasons, I suppose, that you could choose Walker Pest Management, but to be fair, there's several other companies out there that you're probably going to do well with, for the most part, and you just want a company that, if mistakes are made, if they do drop the ball, maybe it's a scheduling issue, something simple like that, but that company is jumping back in and trying to make that right for you, whatever that means, whatever that looks like. So that can take on a lot of different forms. All right, so next question. Hopefully that answers that. And John, thank you for your question as well. The next question, if I do regular pest control, do I still need termite control? Well, so my answer would be Yes, I would do termite control in addition to the regular pest control service, because that pest control service. So we're just talking about general household pest control for your common everyday pests. So there's ants, spiders, crickets, millipedes, centipedes, silverfish, things like that that are going to come into your home, and you're doing regular pest control service, whether that's you're doing it yourself. We talked about that last week. If you're doing regular pest control service, or you're hiring a pest control company to do that. In our area specifically, what we have primarily are subterranean termites. And subterranean, if you break that word down, subterra, it means that these termites are living underground. That's where they spend pretty much their whole life, except for in the swarmers, the alates that come up out of the soil to mate and start new colonies. That's really the only time those termites are going to be above ground. And those particular termites, the swarmers with the wings that we see every spring, and we can even have them throughout the summer. I actually was at a house just last week that had swarmers. That's really the only time that we're going to see those, and those swarmers don't actually do any damage to the home. Their whole purpose is to mate with each other, find their way back down into the ground as quickly as they can, and then they become the king and queen of a new colony and start their family and live happily ever after. If they don't make it back in the soil, they will actually dry out, they'll desiccate, they'll die fairly quickly. That all being said, since they spend their entire lives underground, yes, you want a separate termite service to control those. We do have pretty high termite pressure here in South Carolina, throughout the state of South Carolina. In the coastal areas, there are some other species of termites as well, where you can have some damp wood or dry wood termites that can live above ground as well. And I have actually seen some dry wood termites here in the upstate with people who have brought furniture in, specifically from out of the area, but they've moved here, they've moved that piece of furniture, and now they have dry wood termites. So I put termite service, though, I'm just trying to keep an eye on the time here. I don't want to go too long. I've got just a couple minutes. I put termite service in kind of the insurance basket, okay? So what I mean by that is we all have sort of this sliding scale of priorities, all right? So you want to make sure that you have enough money to make your house payment. You want to make sure you have enough money to buy your groceries. You want to make sure you have enough money to put gas in the car and put clothes on the kids and things like that. But once those basic needs are met, then you can start looking at these other kind of optional priorities. All right, so obviously you're going to have probably a homeowner's insurance policy. Hopefully you do. I would put that probably ahead of a termite policy. You're going to have car insurance. I would put that ahead of a termite policy probably. I might even, because I have a large family, I have a lot of kids, I would put life insurance ahead of a termite policy. But at some point between those basic necessities and the luxury items like, Dad's going to go buy a new bass boat. All right, so before you buy that new bass boat, I would probably get the insurance or the termite treatment done for that extra insurance. And so everybody's going to have their own list of priorities, and that termite treatment is going to fall in between those basic necessities and the luxury items somewhere, and you just have to determine where that goes. So that's my take on termite treatment. But yes, if you can afford it, you've got all of your basic needs met, definitely have your house treated, just so you defer that risk to another company to not only come back and kill the termites if they show up, but hopefully that company, including ours, typically is going to have a damage warranty with that as well if they ever do come back. So, but that's it for today. I think we're out of time. We'll be back next week.
Yep.
Right? 2
Yep.
o'clock? Oh,
no. You're on vacation.
No, I'm on vacation. I will not be
week
here.
after.
Are you going to try to get Lucas to fill in next week?
It depends. We'll see.
Okay. I don't know if we'll be here next Wednesday or not, so it might be the following Wednesday. So that'll be the second week in June.
But shout out, say hello to Matthew Collins watching us on Facebook.
Hey, Matthew. Good to hear from you, I guess. since I can't actually see you right now. But anyway, thank you, Matthew. Thank you, John. That's it. We're signing off.
All right.